Hey guys, welcome to the Family Fudge and welcome to Bunches of Lunches Villains Edition. I've gotten so many requests to make Disney villain themed lunches and this week I'm finally doing it. The kids and I just got back from Hollywood Studios where we got to see the brand new Unfairly Ever After Disney Villains show. And check this out you guys, it was amazing. The kids loved it, I loved it, and honestly, the whole experience really inspired me to jump in the kitchen to make some villainous lunches for my kiddos. Now, even though we are on summer break, I'm still going to be packing these lunches in lunch boxes for my kids because I just think they look cuter that way. But really, all of these lunches are super quick and easy to make, and they don't require a lot of cooking at all. Now, as for which villains I'm focusing on, even though the Unfairly Ever After show includes 59 different Disney villains, overall, it focuses on 3 main villains. So I'm going to be basing these lunches on them, but then I'm also going to throw in a 4th lunch idea based on my own personal favorite Disney villain. Can you guys guess who it is? Here's a little hint, but stick around to find out. Before we get started, don't forget to like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments down below who is your favorite Disney villain. Okay guys, first up in our villain series is a lunch themed after one of the most dramatic Disney baddies of all time, Maleficent. She's elegant, mysterious, and yes, she turns into a fire-breathing dragon. Her colors are mostly black, purple, and green. So that's exactly the look I'm going for this lunch. Now I am making this one with my daughter Mackenzie in mind, and if you saw last week's summer camp lunches, you might remember I gave her an all green lunch that she totally loved. Now if you missed the summer camp lunch video, definitely go check it out. It is a fun one. I will link it down below. So from that lunch last week, she especially loved the chicken bacon ranch wraps. So today, I'm gonna make her something similar with a Maleficent twist. Now I'm gonna call these Maleficent Dragon roll-ups, and trust me, they're gonna taste amazing. I'm gonna start by making a super flavorful spread. For this, I'm gonna need 1 block of cream cheese. This is nice and soft and room temperature. That's gonna make mixing it together way easier. Then to this, I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of ranch seasoning. Next, I'm adding 2 tablespoons of chopped black olives. Then after that, I'm adding 2 tablespoons of chopped green onion. And now for the dragon part. I'm gonna shred up some pepper jack cheese. So these dragon roll-ups are gonna be spicy, but not too spicy. And as far as how much cheese I'm putting in here, I don't actually have an exact measurement because I'm measuring with my heart. So once I have this all whipped up, it's going to be time to spread it onto the tortilla. And I'm using green tortillas, of course. These ones have spinach and an herb flavoring. They are really good, but they do tend to dry out quickly. And since I opened these last week, I really want to use them up. And as you can see, I'm spreading plenty of this cheese all over the tortilla. And to me, this cheese spread tastes very much like one of those cheese balls you might have at a party. Now this is totally optional, but I'm gonna add a few slices of turkey just to get some extra protein in there for Mackenzie. Next, I'm going to roll this up super tight, as tightly as I can. Then I'm going to pop this in the fridge while I fill the rest of the tortillas. This recipe actually makes quite a lot, and whenever I make roll-ups like these, I do like to let them chill in the fridge for just a little bit because I find them way easier to slice without everything squished out. Now, as you can see, I did make some of these with turkey and some of them without. Both are tasty. But now I'm gonna go ahead and add these into our purple lunchbox because of course we're sticking with that purple, black, and green theme. Next up, fruit and veg. For our green color, I'm going to add some nice juicy grapes, and then for our purple, I'm going to dig through this bag of rainbow carrots to just pick out the purple ones. But to go with the carrots, of course, I'm going to add a little ranch on the side because around here, ranch is basically its own food group. Next, I'm going to add a salty snack because every good lunch needs a little crunch. I was able to find these guacamole tortilla chips at Walmart, and not only are they super tasty, but look at that color. That bold green color is perfect for this lunch. And speaking of green, next for this lunch, I'm going to add a little container of lime-flavored Greek yogurt. This is one of my kids' favorite yogurt flavors. It's tangy, it's creamy, and of course, I love that it's green. To make this extra fun, I do want to top it off with just a few green sprinkles. You guys, even villains deserve a little sparkle. Now I do want to add some sweetness to finish off this lunch. So first, I'm going to use some of this green pistachio spread to make a couple of 2-bite Maleficent sammies. You guys, this is so delicious. It's not overly sweet, but it is really nutty. And honestly, it's the closest thing to Dubai chocolate that I've ever tried. And fun fact, you guys, I almost always roll out the top slice with a rolling pin before I stamp it. And I just realized that I never really explain why I do this, but basically it's because my little design will show up way better if the bread is a little bit flatter. And yes, I did go ahead and use some edible markers to add on the design. Now, just look at these. I mean, I know Maleficent is technically the villain, but these turned out so adorable. Now to finish off this magical Maleficent lunch, I'm going to add just a few yogurt-covered pretzels. This adds some extra sweetness and some crunch. And then for dipping those guacamole chips, I'm packing a small side of, guacamole. And lastly, for the drink, I grabbed a purple grape Honest Kids juice pouch. And there you have it, guys, Mackenzie's Maleficent-themed lunch. It's colorful, a little spooky, but totally delicious. Okay, friends, moving on to lunch number 2, and this one is all about Captain Hook. He's the mean, dramatic pirate from Peter Pan, and he has a serious grudge against ticking clocks and Crocs. Now for this lunch, I'm actually starting with the sweet treat first, and I found the cutest cereal for a Captain Hook theme. These are called Marshmallow Mateys. Now they're kind of like Lucky Charms, but instead the marshmallows are pirate shapes, and then the cereal pieces are actually shaped like little anchors. I'm gonna go ahead and make a small batch of cereal treats because I know I do not need a full batch in my house. So to do this, I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of butter and 1 1/4 cups of mini marshmallows to my microwave safe bowl. And I'll throw this in my microwave until everything is melted and gooey. Then I'll mix it all up and add in 1 cup of that Marshmallow Mateys cereal. Now once that's all combined, I'll dump it onto a greased plate and try my best to shape it into one large cereal treat that I'll go ahead and cut later. Now I'll set this aside to cool and firm up while we move on to the main course. And I need to make something hearty enough for a hungry pirate. Now I'm gonna go ahead and make Jackson a big sandwich, but I'm keeping things nice and simple. Once I've got my bread ready, I'll add 1 slice of Colby Jack cheese. Then I'll add a few slices of ham. And then Jackson is not a big fan of soggy bread. So this is where I'm gonna go ahead and add a little squirt of mustard. Then I'm gonna top that with 1 more slice of Colby Jack cheese. And of course, I have to finish off this sandwich with a Captain Hook design. Now moving on to the fruit. I don't know how I lucked out with a delicious watermelon, but this one is perfectly ripe. I'm gonna go ahead and use my melon baller to make some little cannonballs. These are perfect for a pirate lunch. And then to go along with that, I'm also going to add in some golden pineapple. You know, gold like you might find in a treasure chest. But not everything in this lunch is treasure. Captain Hook has one big fear, and that's crocodiles. So I'm gonna have a little bit of fun and slice up some cucumbers using my crocodile cookie cutter. That's a bunch of TikTok crocs. Now all I have to do is fit them into the lunchbox. And I'm not gonna forget the ranch. In this section of the lunchbox, I'm adding a salty snack, and this time I decided to go with the Snap Pea Crisps. These are crunchy, they're delicious, and if you squint a little bit, I think they could pass for a pirate sword. And now right next to those, I have just enough space for our marshmallow matey treats. Now, as you can see, these are mostly set up. They're still a little bit squishy and a little bit gooey, but that's exactly how we like them. I think a dry cereal treat is a crime. And speaking of sweetness, when my kids were little, they used to love watching a show called Jake and the Neverland Pirates. Now, Captain Hook was in that cartoon too, and it seems like they were always on the hunt for gold doubloons. These are actually chocolate gold coins. I'm gonna tuck them into this lunch for Jackson to find. Now, of course, Jackson is a little bit older now, but I think he'll still get a kick out of this. And now, to finish off this Captain Hook lunch, I had to include a pirate's favorite snack, pirate booty. Crunchy, cheesy, and totally on theme. And then finally, for the drink, I'm adding a Roarin' Waters Capri Sun. It's refreshing, it's easy, and let's be honest, it just sounds like something a pirate would drink while sailing the high seas. Now that brings me to lunch number 3. And friends, this one is themed after my personal favorite Disney villain. And if you guessed Lotso from Toy Story 3, you'd be absolutely right. Now sadly, he's not part of the new villains show that we went to, but he's still my fave. Lotso is pink, fluffy, and he smells sweet like strawberries, but don't let that fool you. He's actually one shady teddy bear. And fun fact, you guys, Lotso is actually really popular at Tokyo Disneyland. In fact, on our last trip to Japan, we even got to visit a Lotso-themed restaurant, and you guys, it was awesome. So of course, because this is a Lotso-themed lunch, we're gonna be having lots of pink foods, lots of berries, and of course, lots of strawberry-flavored foods too. I'm putting this lunch together with my daughter Lily in mind, and one of her all-time favorite sandwich combos includes crunchy bear peanut butter, with some sweet strawberry bear jam. So now that our Lotso sandwich is ready, we can go ahead and move on to the fruit because you know strawberries are coming next. I'm gonna go ahead and add those right over here, and then to garnish the top, I'm gonna cut some cucumbers into little blossoms. Next, I'm adding a little cutie orange. I'll go ahead and peel this to make it easy for Lily to eat. And then to make it extra fun, I'm popping in a little sun-themed cupcake ring right in the center. Next, for the veggies, I'm keeping things super simple. I'm just gonna add a little green salad, but to make this more Lotso approved, I'm going to cut his name out of a slice of cheese, and then I'm going to place it right on top of the salad. Now, believe it or not, I'm not adding ranch at this point. I did go ahead and pick up a strawberry vinaigrette for Lily to try. Now, honestly, I think this fits Lotso's personality perfectly. At first, he might seem sweet, but he definitely has a sour side. Now, to add a little bit more protein to this lunch, I'm also going to add a few slices of deli ham. But then back to the Lotso theme, I'm also gonna throw in some Teddy Grahams. Now, I looked everywhere for strawberry flavored ones, but I could not find them, so I'm just gonna add the plain ones. Now, I do have a couple more things that I'd like to tuck on the side. First up, I have some Baby Bell cheese, and I'm going to punch a tiny strawberry design into the wax right on top. Now, that's because Lotso is famously strawberry scented. And since his full name is technically Lotso Hug and Bear, I'm also going to add just a few little hugs on the side. And then if Lily wants something a little extra, I do have some strawberry fig bars. She can have this with her lunch or save it for later. And now I'll finish off this lunch with some strawberry lemonade. Alright, you guys, I'm going to be honest, lunch number 4 was definitely the hardest one to plan. This one is supposed to be themed after Cruella de Vil, but here's the thing, I've never actually seen any of the movies, not the original animated one, and not even the newer version with Emma Stone. But I did see a lot of Cruella in this new villain show, so even though I'm not an expert, I think I've got just enough inspiration to pull this one off. To make things easier for myself, I am going to go with lots of black, white, and red foods. Those are all of Cruella's colors. Now, she may be the villain of these movies, but for the main course of this lunch, I'm taking my inspiration from the Dalmatians themselves, and I'm going to make something called Spotted Pup Pizza Puffs. For the crust, I'm going to use some store-bought crescent roll dough, but what I like about this kind is that it's already rolled up. So instead of unrolling it, all I have to do is slice it into 8 little rounds. Then I drop each dough round into a muffin liner. Now, I love using these liners because it helps everything stay in place, and I know my pizzas aren't gonna stick. Now at this point, I'm not gonna press down the dough or anything. I want these pizzas to be very puffy, but what I am gonna do is I'm going to season them really well with some garlic powder and some Italian seasoning. Now these are gonna go in the oven at 375 for about 10 minutes or just until they're almost done. Now while those were baking, I did go ahead and shred up a bunch of mozzarella cheese because I want these pizzas to be extra cheesy. Once the dough is almost fully cooked, it's time to take them out for the next step. Instead of using red pizza sauce, I'm going to use a little bit of white Alfredo sauce. Then I'm going to top each puff with mozzarella cheese and a few sliced black olives to really give them that spotted Dalmatian look. Now these are gonna go back in the oven for about 5 more minutes or so, or until the cheese is just melted. I do not wanna let the cheese brown. I want it to stay white, so these really look like Dalmatians. And now it's time to add some veggies. And for this part, I'm pulling some inspiration straight from Cruella's bold red lipstick. I'm gonna use a little cookie cutter and some red bell peppers to create these fun little lip shapes. And then, since there are so many Dalmatians in this movie, I'm going to cut some cucumber into little dog treat shapes. Next, for the fruit, I'm keeping things simple. I'm just gonna add some juicy blackberries. These definitely fit with the black and white Cruella theme, but I do wanna brighten this section up a little bit, so I'm going to pop in this really cute Dalmatian food pick. Then, just for fun, I am gonna throw in a few baby carrots. This little section in the lunchbox is so small and I really struggle with what to put there sometimes. Now, for a salty snack on the side, I'm going to add some popcorn. This is actually my favorite lesser evil popcorn. And even though the cheddar popcorn might be lesser evil, Cruella is definitely not. And then you guys, for a little bit of sweetness in this lunch, first, I'm going to add some Reese's Puff cereal. And okay, you guys, let's be real, this cereal does kind of look like dog food, but in the best, most delicious way. And then, to go along with the cereal, I also grabbed this cute Dalmatian themed spread. Technically, it's cookies and cream spread, but it does have the black and white going on, so it's perfect. I'm going to use this to make more of those 2-bite sandwiches, but this time with a Cruella twist. And then last but not least, for the drink, I'm just adding this cute little milk. It's simple and it goes so well with the cookies and cream sandwiches and the cereal. I should probably check out at least one of the Dalmatian movies, so let me know in the comments down below, which one do you think is the best? And there you have it, 4 villain-themed lunches, each with their own fun twist. Now, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.